And hello everybody and welcome to tonight's ball game. It's West Carrollton, the Pirates against the Greenville Green Wave. We are certainly glad to be with you as that ball is lifted down the right field line. It is a foul ball. My name is Mark Bixler. We're glad to be with you from Sater Park here in Greenville. Of course, we were here a couple weeks ago when the Green Wave won a thriller, a 9-inning thriller against Vandalia Butler, 6-5 the final score. So that is taken for a ball. And we're still trying to get our lineup in order here. We do apologize for the lateness as that ball is hit right towards us. Throw into second base. As leading off with a double is Chris Lewis for the Pirates. Pitching for Greenville is Jim Weaver. We'll run down the starting lineups here momentarily. Todd Morris steps in for the Pirates. We are scoreless, top half of the first inning. As I said, my name is Mark Bixler. We're glad to be with you here tonight from Greenville as the throw back into second. It is caught by the left fielder as Lewis scampers back. F7. Morris goes down if you are scoring with us. That caught by Alan Harsh. This video being produced by M. Bixler Video Productions. We will be with you here from Sater Park again on Saturday for contest, the King of the Hill tournament taking place. All of the schools from Darke County. One away, top half of the first. A runner is at second base. Lewis at bat now for West Carrollton is Phil Kelly, the designated hitter. He is batting for Joe McCaleb. He will be followed by Matt Hathaway, the catcher. Well, everything should be in order now in our books. When we were writing them off for West Carrollton, our coach left a player out, and it just happened to be the 4 spot, batting in the cleanup spot, Matt Hathaway. We are scoreless, top of the first, 1 out, runner at second. That being the pitcher Chris Lewis. Greenville standing at 10-6 on the year. They are 5-2 in the GMVC. Weaver readies, fires, and that is a swing and a miss. A ball, 2, or is it 2 balls, 2 strikes? I believe it's 2-2 on Kelly. And Kelly goes down on strikes, so there's 2 outs. Well, Jim Weaver, will he get out of this inning without giving anything up after the leadoff double by Lewis? We'll have to wait and see. At bat now for the Pirates is Matt Hathaway, the catcher. Weaver readies from the stretch, fires, taken high. It's 1-0. Just underway, as we said, as Weaver fires, and that is a strike. So the count evens now at 1-1 on Hathaway. John Gibson awaiting on deck. He is the fifth hitter. Mark Hill will be batting sixth. Seventh will be Bill Blakely. TJ James, the second baseman, will be batting eighth. And Scott Oda, the shortstop, will be batting ninth. And the count is a ball, 2 strikes. Gibson, the first baseman, Hill, the left fielder, and Blakely, the right fielder. Lewis still stranded at second base thus far. That has taken a strike, and Jim Weaver has gotten out of the inning after giving up the leadoff double. He comes back, strikes out the last 2 batters he faces here in the first after a half inning. It's West Carrollton nothing. Greenville coming to bat.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Feller's Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
And we welcome you back to Sater Park. My name is Mark Bixler. We're certainly glad to be with you here tonight from, as we said, Sater Park. Let's run down the starting lineup for Greenville. The batting order, it'll be Jason Singleton leading off, the designated hitter. He'll be followed by Chad Beisner, the right fielder. Actually, he's designated hitting. He's the designated hitter for Chad Beisner. TJ Powers, the third baseman, will be batting second. Eric Blakely, the shortstop, batting third. Jim Weaver, who got out of that first inning after giving up the leadoff double to start things off, will be batting in the cleanup spot. Bill Kaiser, the first baseman, will be batting fifth. Travis Blakely, the center fielder, will be batting sixth. Greg Hiller, the catcher, batting seventh. The second baseman, Ryan Henderson, will be batting eighth, and Alan Harsh, the left fielder, will be batting in the ninth spot. Jason Singleton getting ready to step in for Greenville. As we said, the Wave getting out of the first inning after giving up the leadoff double to Chris Lewis. Jim Weaver then enticed Todd Moore to fly out to left field, but then struck out Phil Kelly and Matt Hathaway to end the first without giving up a run, as we said, after that leadoff double. Singleton lifts the ball, first base side. It is caught by the first baseman. John Gibson making that catch, so Singleton out, F3 if you're scoring with us, as the bottom of the first is underway. Well, we'll be here all day Saturday, the King of the Hill tourney. All teams from Darke County taking place here at Sater Park. Lewis fires, and TJ Powers takes a strike, so the count now is even at 1-1 on Powers. Eric Blakely awaiting on deck, the shortstop. Lewis readies, the southpaw fires, swing and a miss, and that, well, maybe he got a piece of it. Just enough of it that stunned Hathaway. Shaken up a little bit, clenching that hand. Now he throws it back out to Lewis, so play will resume momentarily. A ball, 2 strikes on Powers. 1 out, bottom half of the first. We are scoreless. And timeout as Powers steps Takes a step back out of the batter's box. Now steps back in and play set to resume. Lewis readies, fires, taking a bit inside. The count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. As we said, it is scoreless here in the bottom of the first. Lewis readies, fires, and that's a ground ball third base side, and it is a foul ball. So it remains 2-2. Lewis from the windup fires, taking a strike, and Powers is caught looking. That'll bring up shortstop Eric Blakely for Greenville. Two outs. Lewis threatening to shoot down the Wave in order here in the bottom half of the first, and that is taking a strike. 0-1 is the count. Lewis readies again from the windup, fires, lifted into center field, and that is going to drop in shallow center field. The shortstop coming up with it, Scott Oda. So Blakely reaches with a 2-out single here to try and start a rally for the Wave here in the bottom of the first. Each team with a base hit in their half of the first. We'll wait and see what happens with Greenville as Jim Weaver, the pitcher, steps in. Lewis from the stretch fires, taken a bit low. One and 0 is the count against Weaver. Bill Kaiser, the first baseman, awaits on deck. Lewis fires. Swing and a miss. The count's even at a ball and a strike. Lewis again from the stretch. The 1-1. This time he flips it to first, but back safely is Blakely. Lewis again set, the 1-1, this time fires home, and that ball is ripped into right or left center field. It will drop for a base hit, and heading to third is Blakely. He will stay put as Coach Doug Freeze puts up the halt sign, and with the base hit, Jim Weaver, back-to-back base hits, puts runners at first and third for the Wave. This all has happened with 2 away. That brings up first baseman Bill Kaiser, batting from the left side. Kaiser ready to take from Lewis, takes a strike. Greenville, as we said, with runners at first and third, runners at the corners. Lewis readies, fires, and that's a swing and a miss. Actually a foul tip back into the catcher's mitt, so 2 strikes now on Kaiser. Lewis again from the stretch, readies, fires home, and that's fouled back to the screen. Well, tomorrow night we will be in Ansonia for a softball game, Tri-Village, the Patriots against the Tigers of Ansonia. And Friday night, back down at New Madison, Tri-Village hosting Franklin Monroe in a softball game. That ball gets in the dirt, and the play at the plate is in time as they get Blakely to end the inning. Blakely goes down 2-1 if you're scoring with us. Needless to say, Bill Kaiser will get another chance to bat in the second. But Greenville leaves one stranded after one full inning. It's Greenville nothing, West Carrollton nothing.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Osgood State Bank with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us.
Weaver on for a second inning of work as it'll be 5, 6, and 7 for the Pirates. John Gibson, Mark Hill, and Bill Blakely for West Carrollton. One away already. Is getting ready to step in left fielder Mark Hill. Weaver fires, and that's a swing and a miss. My name is Mark Bixler. We're glad to be with you here from Cedar Park, Greenville, Ohio. The West Carrollton Pirates taking on the Green Wave. Greenville standing at 10-6 on the year. They are 5-2 in the GMVC, looking to improve to 11-6 and 6-2 if they're able to pick up a win here tonight. We are scoreless, and we are in the top of the second. One away. Ball, 2 strikes on Gibson, or on Hill rather. One away. Top of the second. Weaver readies. It's his signs. He's ready to fire. Does. Looks like a changeup, a little high. Evens the count at 2-2. High and away, and it's now a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Hill. Bill Blakely awaiting on deck. Weaver fires the 3-2, a ground ball picked up by the third baseman. Fires it on to first in time. 2 outs, 5-3 if you're scoring with us. That would be T.J. Powers to Bill Kaiser. Two outs, and Bill Blakely steps in now for the Pirates. Weaver readies, fires, bit tight. 1-0 as the count on Blakely. T.J. James awaits on deck, the second baseman for West Carrollton. Weaver fires, and that's a swing and a miss, so the count now even at 1-1. A lot of action to take place here on Saturday. Greenville will be playing Versailles in the opening game of the King of the Hill tourney. a bit inside. It is 2-1 on Blakely. Of course, we'll be here throughout the day on Saturday, and also we will be here for the semifinals and the championship game, as well as the third place game to take place prior to that. Weaver readies. The 2-2 is on the way, taking a bit outside. Now the count run to a full count now. It's as far as it can go without an out or a walk. Weaver readies, fires, a strike, and Blakely is caught looking. So West Carrollton goes out 1-2-3 in the top half of the second after an inning and a half. It remains scoreless, West Carrollton and Greenville, in a 0-0 tie.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us.
Bill Kaiser will get another crack. He was down, I believe it was 0-2 at the time, but a pass ball took place. Actually, it was 1-2 on the pass ball, but on the pass ball, it didn't carry him away as far as Eric Blakely thought it was going to. And that ball is hit into center field, shallow center field. And there to make the catch, center fielder Joe McCaleb. So there is one out. F8 if you are scoring with us. Kaiser goes down. Travis Blakely steps in now from the left side. Lewis fires, and that's a swing and a miss, kind of a half-hearted swing. Didn't look like he got a full rip at it. Lewis readies, fires a southpaw. Again fouled back. So the count now 0-2 against Blakely. Catcher Greg Hiller awaiting on deck. Strike on the outside corner. Catcher Hathaway thought it was 3 outs, but it's only 2. As Blakely caught looking. That brings up Greg Hiller. Well, switching around now from the right side. After 2 batters from the left. Hiller takes 1-0 the count. Lewis fires, and that is taken, so the count now 2-0. Well, Greenville threatened in the first after 2 outs were recorded. Blakely with a base hit, then Weaver right after that a base hit, putting runners at first and third, but while Bill Kaiser was batting, Eric Blakely tried to score on a pass ball, but was gunned down at the plate. That ended the first for the Wave, as that ball is ripped foul out of play. And it's now even. Its scoreboard says 2-2. Bottom of the second, we are scoreless. Greenville and West Carrollton, and that ball is inside. Scoreboard says 3-2, but I believe it may indeed be 3-1. We'll find out after this one. Back up the middle. Lewis comes up with it, fires it, gets past the first baseman, but staying put is Hiller at first. He wasn't going anyplace. I'll tell you what, that was a rip back the middle off of Lewis. Hiller reaches, and again it happens after 2 outs are recorded. Lewis fires from the stretch, taking a bit inside, got past Hathaway, but staying put at first was Hiller, not going anyplace. The count is 1-0. Lewis readies the 1-0, fires. That fouled back, first base side. So the count now even at 1-1. Two outs, a runner on for Greenville. Greg Hiller at first. At bat is Ryan Henderson, and the count is 1-1. Lewis readies, fires. That is a swing and a miss. Foul, actually fouled back into the catcher's mitt, so it's a ball, 2 strikes. Alan Harsh awaiting on deck for Greenville. As we said, bottom of the second. That is a swing and a miss. And again, Greenville leaving one stranded here. We have completed 2. It remains a scoreless tie between West Carrollton and Greenville.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Fellers Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
Well, we welcome you back here to Sater Park in Greenville. Kind of an unusual situation weather-wise. I'll explain that in a moment as count is 0-1. Leading off for West Carrollton is TJ Joins. He is down 0-1. Scott Oda awaiting on deck. It's a ball and a strike. Well, normally weather comes out of the southwest, but as that is taken, two and one is the count, and that is a swing and a miss. So it's now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes, but we currently have a situation coming out of the southeast, which generally you can pretty much bet if it's coming out of the southeast, you're going to get some strong winds with that. It is a full count on TJ James. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Weaver on for a 3rd inning of work, and that is ground ball. Scooped up by the shortstop. Will he get it to first in time? No, he does not. A good play, though, by shortstop Eric Blakely. Reaching safely, though, is TJ James. Slow roller on this grass. And James beats it out. with a base hit, and that brings up Scott Oda to the plate. We are in the third. And we are scoreless. The leadoff runner has reached for West Carrollton, TJ Jeans. After Oda will swing back to the top of the order in Lewis. The bunt is fouled back. So Oda behind in the count 0-1. That's a good place. High and a little tight when you know somebody's going to bunt the ball. Well, as we said, the wind picking up a little bit. And if the situation holds true coming out of the southwest, or southeast rather, you can just about bet you're going to get some strong winds with the weather. A little bit of chill in the air as well. Weaver fires, and that is taken a strike. So the count on Oda is now a ball and 2 strikes. Weaver readies from the stretch, fires home, taken outside. Evens the count now at 2-2. Jane's getting a nice lead off of first. Weaver again readies, fires home, and that ball is lifted on the infield, and making the catch is the catcher, Greg Hiller. So there's 1 out. Oda out F2 if you're scoring with us, and that brings up Chris Lewis with 1 out. Lewis led tonight's game off with a double. That is fouled back. So Lewis behind in the count. 0-1. Scoreless tie. We are in the third, top of the third, with 1 out. A runner is on for the Pirates in TJ Jeans. Weaver readies, fires, taken a little outside. Count evens at 1-1. Weaver again fires, and Lewis swings and misses. So the count is 1-2 on Lewis. Question remains, will the Pirates leave another leadoff hit go by the board? Allow it to go by the board, and right now that is uncertain. Two balls, 2 strikes, and that's fouled back. It remains 2-2 against Lewis. Todd Morris, the third baseman, awaits on deck. Well, now it appears the wind has settled a bit, not quite as strong as it was just moments ago, but still enough wind. And it appears to be blowing in. That ball's a rocket to the shortstop. They flip it on to second to get the out. The flip to first not in time. 6-4. James is out. Scoring with us, that would be Blakely to Henderson. For out number 2. As we said, Lewis reaches on the fielder's choice, and that brings up Todd Morris. The count is 0-1 against Morris. For Greenville next inning, it will be 9-1-2. Greenville sending 4 batters to the plate in the first 2 innings. West Carrollton sending 4 in the first, 3 in the second, and thus far 4 here in the third. 0-2 is the count against Morris. Weaver fires outside. A ball, 2 strikes. Looked like Weaver was trying to get him to go for a hard one on the outside part, close to the outside part of the plate, but Morris not going for that as Weaver fires, and that is a ground ball. Will it get through? Henderson comes up with it. No play anyplace. He wisely holds on to it. Henderson, a nice job just getting to the ball and holds on to it, keeping the runner at second. Give Morris a base hit, and that brings up designated hitter Phil Kelly for the Pirates. Well, a busy week this week, as last night at New Madison, Tri-Village and Arcanum, a 12-7 final score. Arcanum winning that, of course, tonight here at Sater Park in Greenville. That's a swing and a miss, or was it a foul? Apparently not. Evens the count at 1-1. Tomorrow night, up at Ansonia, lightning flashing in the far south, and Hiller, the ball gets past him. The throw to third is in time. 2-5. Lewis is gunned down. So after 2.5 rather, West Carrollton leaving one stranded here in the third, and after 2.5, it's still scoreless, West Carrollton and Greenville.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us.
Well, believe it or not, I can remember when this field did not run the way that it was running, and now I'm not exactly sure what we are waiting on, as there was lightning flashing in the distance. I don't think the umpires saw it. If they saw it, they would have to clear the field, but it is in the distance presently. That ball is ripped down the line, but foul. So leading off for Greenville is Alan Harsh, and he falls behind 0-1. Well, the umpire is keeping a close eye on the weather situation here. We are in the bottom of the third, and that is taken high, so the count even at 1-1. That's taken a strike. So Harsh now behind in the count, a ball, 2 strikes. Jason Singleton, the designated hitter, awaiting on deck for Greenville. We are in the midst of a scoreless tie as that is taken high. As we are in the bottom half of the third, rather. Setting Harsh, the first batter for the Wave here in the third. That is a swing and a miss, so Harsh is out on strikes, and there's 1 out. Jason Singleton ready to step in for the Wave as we swing back to the top of the order. As we said, you can just about bet a storm that comes out of the southeast. There's going to be a lot of wind with it and could possibly be very severe. That has taken a strike, so Singleton is behind in the count, 0-1. Lewis readies, fires, and that ball's lifted on into shallow left field. It is caught. So there's 2 away. Singleton out F7 if you're scoring with us. Well, if you remember, thus far for Greenville, everything that has happened when 2 outs has been recorded, although they have not scored. All of their hits have come with 2 outs, but that's not going to be the case this time, as coming up with that is the third baseman. So Greenville is out 1, 2, 3 here in the third. After 3 complete, it's still scoreless. West Carrollton and Greenville. And before we resume play, they are going to clear the field as the umpires do see lightning in the distance, and we are going to take a weather break. And it will be approximately 30 minutes from this time. Now that you will not notice that, because we will resume immediately after the commercial break. We are scoreless after 3. It's West Carrollton and Greenville.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Feller's Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
Well, we welcome you back here to Sater Park. We've had a little bit of a delay because of lightning in the area. Nothing does not appear to be anything severe. But nonetheless, we are just about ready to get back underway after about a 20 to 25 minute delay. It will be 3, 4, and 5, which means it'll be Phil Kelly, Matt Hathaway, and John Gibson for the Pirates as we welcome you back. Jim Weaver back on the mound for Greenville after the delay. We are in the top of the 4th, by the way. Weaver ready to begin this 4th. Fires a bit outside. It's 1-0. Or is it 2-0? I don't believe he had actually pitched to anybody when they cleared the field, although the scoreboard does say 3-0. Weaver fires. That is taken. A strike. As we said, Matt Hathaway awaits on deck for the Pirates. He'll be followed by John Gibson. Taken outside, so indeed it was 3-0. So the leadoff walk is issued by Weaver to Phil Kelly, and that brings up Matt Hathaway. Well, you just wonder what kind of an effect the delay will have on Weaver. For that matter, what kind of effect it will have on Lewis if he indeed pitches for the Pirates. Well, they attempt the bunt, and it is a strike as he could not put it down, Hathaway, and he falls behind 0-1. Well, as we said, we're in the top of the 4th. We are in a scoreless ball game thus far. That fouled back first base side off the screen, and Hathaway is down 0-2. The leadoff runner reached on a walk. That's Phil Kelly, and that is a swing and a miss. So Hathaway goes down for the second time tonight on strikes. And now John Gibson will step in. Gibson is 0 for 1 tonight as well. 1 out. Phil Kelly at first. John Gibson, the batter, the first baseman for West Carrollton. He takes a strike and he's down 0-1. Weaver fires. Gibson swings and misses. And now the count is 0-2. 0-0 the score here in the 4th. Top of the 4th, West Carrollton, and that is a bit high, and Hathaway moves up to second base. Not Hathaway, my apologies. Kelly moves up to second base. Count, a ball, 2 strikes on Gibson. Weaver will try to dispose of the first baseman right here and cannot. It's taken, and it's even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mark Hill awaits on deck. Any chance of, well, they still have the possibility of a double play with a line drive, but double play on a ground ball was taken away with the pass ball, which Kelly moved up to second. It's a full count now. Weaver readies, fires from the stretch, taken inside, and the 1-out walk is issued, putting runners at first and second now. Well, Gibson battles back after being down 0-2, draws the 1-out walk. That brings up Mark Hill, batting from the left side. Hill grounded out to third base, his first time up. Taken in the dirt. Hiller, a nice job scooping that. Count is 1-0 on Mark Hill. Weaver fires, ground ball. First base side, it rolls foul. The count evens at a ball and a strike on Hill. Bill Blakely, the right fielder, awaits on deck for the Pirates. Well, it's gotten a bit cooler out here this afternoon. Weaver readies. Right-hander fires home, gets in the dirt, and the runners well, only one of them moves up. Kelly moves up, and might have been a offensive strategy to keep the runner at first, because now that put runners at first and third with one out. Will they try a double steal? Taken low and away, and that's ball four. Well, it really doesn't matter at that point, as that loads the bases. Well, we said we wondered what kind of an effect the delay would have on both pitchers. Obvious has had somewhat of an effect on Weaver. Prior to the delay, he had not issued a walk. Now, here in the fourth, he has issued 3. Walks to Phil Kelly, John Gibson, and Bill Blakely. Check that Mark Hill. Now Bill Blakely will be batting. Loaded the bases, and of course that sandwiched in between the first and second walk was a strikeout of Matt Hathaway. It appeared that Weaver, after the leadoff walk to Kelly, had settled down with the strikeout of Hathaway, but appearing not to be the case at present, though, as he then proceeded to walk John Gibson after getting Gibson down 0-2, and then threw the walk to, issued the walk to Mark Hill. The bases are jammed for Bill Blakely, and he takes a strike. One thing that the walk did do, it puts a force at any base. Weaver fires, taken a bit low and maybe even a little outside. The count even at 1-1. Weaver readies, fires, taken a tad high, and it's now 2-1. Weaver again fires, and that is a swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Blakely. A strikeout here would be huge for Greenville. That would give them 2 outs. Hit to right field. It will be caught, and the throw to the plate is not in time, as West Carrollton gets the first run of the night. On the sac fly, gets Phil Kelly home, as Blakely goes down F9 for out number 2, and that brings up T.J. James. Two away, 1 run in. 2 runners still on, first and second, and that has taken a strike. So James falls behind in the count, 0-1. As we said, West Carrollton, we wondered what kind of an effect the delay would have, and it has come in the way of a run here as Weaver has issued 3 walks in the inning, and one of them has scored. Taken high, it's a ball, 2 strikes on Janes. Phil Kelly was issued the leadoff walk. He has now come around to score on the sac fly by Bill Blakely. Jim Weaver fires, and that is a swing and a miss, so Weaver does get out of it, but not before giving up a run. After 3.5, it is West Carrollton 1, Greenville nothing.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Osgood State Bank with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us.
Well, the delay did have a little bit of an effect on Jim Weaver as we welcome you back here tonight from Greenville Sater Park. West Carrollton leading this 1-0. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. It'll be 3, 4, and 5. Blakely hits the ball, and it will drop. It goes to the fence. Blakely rounds second. He is heading to third, and he will be in safely at third. So first hit pitching, Eric Blakely nails the ball to deep left center field. Bounces off the fence, and Blakely with the leadoff triple to start things off here. Well, we were questioning what kind of an effect it would have with the pitchers, the delay that we had because of lightning in the area. With Jim Weaver, it came, it showed itself with 3 walks in the 4th. He had not issued a walk before the delay. After the delay, he had 3. Firing 3 walks, and that is taken inside. So Weaver has a count of 1-1. Bill Kaiser awaits on deck. Weaver is 1 for 1. He did have a base hit back in the 1st. A base hit here would tie it at 1. On the infield, Gibson struggling to find it, cannot find it. It is a foul ball. And it's now a ball, 2 strikes on Weaver. It's really too early to tell what kind of an effect the delay will have on Lewis for the Pirates, although he did give up the leadoff triple. That was taking a ball, so the count now even at 2-2. West Carrollton did get a run in. They loaded the bases via walks. And that ball is ripped right field, and it is a home run. A line shot by Jim Weaver. As you see him rounding third, giving Greenville a 2-1 lead. You rip that ball to left field. Thus far, both hits have been ripped to left field. A 2-run shot giving Greenville a 2-1 lead. We are in the bottom of the 4th. No one out still. Bill Kaiser steps in, and I tell you what, I hope he doesn't hit the ball where, well, I don't think he'd hit my van, but be pretty close. Taken high, it's 1-1. Put that ball in the same spot that I think it would be more to right field than right center if he did. That fouled back. So the count now 1-2 against Kaiser. Kaiser flew out to center field back in the 2nd. He is 0 for 1. He was at bat in the 1st on a wild pitch. That again is fouled back. So the count remains at 1-2. As I said, he was at bat in the 1st on a wild pitch. When on a wild pitch, Eric Blakely tried to score, but was gunned down at the plate. No one out, 2-1 Greenville, thanks to a 2-run homer by pitcher Jim Weaver. That's got to boost your confidence as far as helping yourself out and being able to come back in the 5th. Maybe pitch a little better. That ball is lifted. Foul, left field side, will drift out of play, and it remains 1-2, or actually 2-2 now. Travis Blakely awaiting on deck. 2-2 the count, as we said, on Bill Kaiser, the first baseman for the Wave. Lewis fires, ground ball, scooped up by the second baseman, flips it to first, one away. DJ James firing on to John Gibson. Kaiser out 4-3 if you're scoring with us for out number 1. And that brings up center fielder Travis Blakely. Again from the left side. Popped off the screen, fouled back. Two to 1, Greenville leading this over West Carrollton. We're in the bottom of the 5th. That is fouled back. So Blakely still behind in the count, 0-2. Thus far, the runs have been scored here in the 4th. West Carrollton with a 1 run in the top of the 4th. Greenville with a 2-run homer, 2 runs here in the 4th thanks to a 2-run shot by Jim Weaver. Eric Blakely started it off with a triple, and that is a swing and a miss. So Blakely goes down for the 2nd time tonight, striking out, and there's 2 outs. Catcher Greg Hiller will step in. He reached back in the 2nd, a base hit. It's 1 for 1. My name is Mark Bixler. We're glad to be with you here tonight from Greenville Seder Park. That taken a bit tight, and Hiller ahead in the count, 1-0. Of course, we'll be back here Saturday all day, as a matter of fact. Bit inside, 2-0 the count. Lewis readies the 2-0, and that is a chopper foul. It's a 2-1 count. We are in the fourth, bottom half of the fourth. Greenville with the lead by a run. Taken high. It's 3 balls and a strike now. Lewis from the windup, readies the 3-1. Fires. Fouled back, and it's a full count. The Wave leading it, as we said, by a run right now, 2-1. Bottom of the fourth. Lewis fires the payoff, and it's high, ball 4. Well, Hiller draws the 1-out walk, and that will bring up second baseman Ryan Henderson. Two away here in the inning. Runner at first. Taking a strike. Henderson down in the count, 0-1. Lewis readies from the stretch, the 0-1. That ball is lifted into left field, and it is caught by the left fielder. Mark Hill making that catch. We have completed 4. Greenville with the lead thanks to a 2-run homer by Jim Weaver, and after 4, it's Greenville 2, West Carrollton 1.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Feller's Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
Well, Greenville with the lead now, 2-1 here as we go to the 5th. It will be Scott Oda, Chris Lewis, and Todd Morris. And that ball is hit high into shallow left center. Coming out to make the play, shortstop Eric Blakely. Oda out F8, F6 rather, if you're scoring with us for out number 1 as we swing back to the top of the order, and Chris Lewis, the pitcher. Lewis with an opportunity to help himself right here as takes that a bit low. Count is 1-0 on Lewis. Weaver readies, fires, swing and a miss. Count is 1-1 on Lewis. Weaver fires the 1-1, taking a strike, and Lewis down in the count now, a ball, 2 strikes. Wave, thanks to pitcher Jim Weaver's 2-run homer as Weaver guns down Lewis. Lewis caught looking, and there's 2 outs. Third baseman Todd Morris ready to step in for the Pirates. It was 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth when Jim Weaver belted a line drive home run to left center field. That ball is drilled, but it's going to stay in the park as center fielder Travis Blakely making that catch. And that ends the inning. We have completed 4.5 here at Sater Park in Greenville. It remains Greenville 2, West Carrollton 1.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Osgood State Bank with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us.
9-1-2 as we start the bottom of the fifth. Alan Harsh flies out to center field. Joe McCaleb making the catch. Lewis fires, taken a bit high as Jason Singleton steps in for Greenville. 2-1, the Wave leading it. Bottom of the fifth. Lewis fires, taking a strike. It's even at a ball and a strike now against Singleton. Greenville looking to push their record to 11-6. 6-2 in the GMVC. If they can hang on to win this, as Singleton fouled that back, and it's a ball, 2 strikes. As we said, we are in the bottom half of the fifth. A one-run lead for Greenville, and that is in the dirt. Singleton, the count evens at 2-2. Bit tight. 3 balls, 2 strikes now on Singleton. TJ Powers, the third baseman, scheduled to bat next for the Wave. Swing and a miss, 2 outs. Singleton out on strikes. TJ Powers at bat, over 2 tonight. Popped out to the third baseman back in the third and struck out in the first. Lewis fires, fouled back, it's 0-1. Eric Blakely, the shortstop, awaits on deck for Greenville, waiting for an opportunity that he might not see here in the fifth. Well, Jim Weaver helped himself back last inning after Eric Blakely's leadoff triple. Jim Weaver followed it up with a home run right after that, giving Greenville the 2-1 lead. That ball is drilled to left field, and that is gone. Powers with the second home run of the night for Greenville. And that gives Greenville a 2-run lead right now. And Eric Blakely will step in. 3-1 is the score. 1 out in the bottom of the, or rather 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. As Blakely falls behind 0-1. It was his triple that got things started last inning for Greenville. That's a swing and a miss, and Blakely is down 0-2, going for the fences there. Blakely is 2 for 2 tonight, a base hit in the first and a triple last inning. Taken high, a ball, 2 strikes. All of Greenville's runs have come via home runs, and that's popped on the infield. Gibson settles in, makes the catch, and that ends the inning, but not before Greenville strikes again. A home run by T.J. Powers gives Greenville a 3-1 lead after 5. We'll be back with the 6th in just a moment.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Feller's Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
We go to the 6th as Phil Kelly will lead off for the Pirates. He'll be followed by Matt Hathaway and John Gibson. Kelly is 0 for 1, but did draw a walk and came around to score back in the 4th. The count evens at a ball and a strike on Kelly. Taken a bit outside, 2 balls and a strike. My name is Mark Bixler. We're glad to be with you, and that is a swing and a miss, and the count evens now at 2-2. Matt Hathaway awaiting on deck for the Pirates. They are down by a couple of runs right now, 3-1, as that ball is hit and caught by the right fielder for Greenville, Chad Beisner. So 1 out as Kelly is down F9 if you're scoring with us. That is taken. It's 1-0 with 1 out. A little number foul, so it's now a ball and a strike against Hathaway. John Gibson awaits on deck. 1 out, 3-1 Greenville. They are leading West Carrollton here this afternoon as Weaver fires. Taken. And it is a strike, so it's a ball, 2 strikes now against Hathaway. Weaver again fires, taken low. It's even now 2-2. Greenville by a couple of runs here in the top of the 6th inning. 3-1. We are at Sater Park here in Greenville. Taken high, and it's now a full count. So Weaver has gone as far as he can go with Hathaway. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Weaver sets the payoff on the way, taking ball 4. So with 1 out, Hathaway draws a walk, and that will bring up first baseman John Gibson. Said we are in the top half of the 6th inning. Greenville by a pair right now, and that is taken tight. It's 1-0 against Gibson. Weaver fires to first, and close play, but getting back in time is Hathaway. (3-1), the Wave leading it thanks to a pair of home runs, a 2-run shot by Jim Weaver in the 4th, and a solo shot last inning by T.J. Powers. West Carrollton with their lone run in the 4th, the top half of the 4th. Weaver issuing 3 walks, and then with the bases loaded, a sac fly by Bill Blakely enabled Phil Kelly to score. That has been their lone run. 3 balls and a strike. The count on Gibson. And he takes ball 4, so that puts runners at first and second with 1 out. Mark Hill steps in from the left side. Taken a strike on the outside corner. So Hill falls behind 0-1. Well, I tell you what, if he would rip one right here, it'd be a big shot, although right now down 0-2. Greenville with the 2-run lead. A base hit here could possibly narrow it to a run. Taking a bit inside. Count now a ball, 2 strikes on Hill. Weaver fires high. Bit away as well. It's even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weaver the 2-2 on the way, taken outside, ball 3. Well, Weaver has gone the limit on Hill. It's a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. A walk here would load the bases. Weaver fires, taken low and away, ball 4 rather. That loads the bases with only 1 out. Again, walks, getting Weaver in trouble as Coach Freeze making his way out to talk with his pitcher. For that matter, the remainder of the rest of the infield as well. The bases are loaded. It's a 3-1 ball game as Bill Blakely, who is 0 for 2, but he is has the only RBI, as it was his sacrifice fly back in the fourth that produced West Carrollton's only run. Weaver readies, fires, and that's a ground ball through the hole between first and second base. One run is in. They are going to fire to home, and the play at the plate, it gets past the catcher. We are tied at 3. Give Blakely a base hit and 2 RBIs. He advances to second on the throw home. Well, Mr. Blakely with all 3 RBIs. We are tied at 3 apiece. Weaver readies, fires high and away, and Jim Weaver is definitely struggling here in the 6th. 1-0 the count on T.J. James, the second baseman. Base hit here would definitely be a big blow, as it could produce 2 runs. Well, the throw was definitely there in time, but unfortunately for Greenville, Greg Hiller was unable to snare it, scoop it in. It would have been a close play, but I think they probably would have gotten the out, but nonetheless, that did not happen, and now the walk loads the bases again. That is the 4th walk of the inning, and Jim Weaver is going to be replaced. He will move over to first base as first baseman Bill Kaiser will now make his way to the pitcher's mound and will be on in relief. Well, the bases are loaded. 2 runs already in here in the top half of the 6th. We are going to take a break. When we come back, as we said, Bill Kaiser will be the pitcher for the Green Wave.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Feller's Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
Well, Bill Kaiser inherits a sticky situation for the Greenville. The sacks are jammed as he faces Scott Oda. Takes a strike, and Oda down in the count 0-1. There's 1 out, 2 runs already in. The bases are loaded. That fouled back. So the count is 0-2 against Oda. Phil Kelly flew out to right field to start things off here in the 6th. But since then, it's been nothing but trouble. 3 straight walks and then a base hit. Punched a couple runs across and then back-to-back. Or check that, another walk by Jim Weaver to load the bases again. Oda, the play is at the plate. They get the force, and that's it. (6-2). Hill gunned down for out number 2. The bases are still loaded as Oda reaches on a fielder's choice, and we swing back to the top of the order with Chris Lewis stepping in. Well, the first 3 innings, we were scoreless. Then we had a lightning delay, I should say. No rain in the area, or at least not here anyway. Popped high to shallow right field. And Beisner makes the catch to end the inning. So Greenville gets out of it without any further damage. We have completed 5.5. Here at Sater Park. West Carrollton scoring twice in the top half of the 6th to tie it. Right now it's West Carrollton 3, Greenville 3.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us.
Well, all of the scoring has taken place since the 4th inning. We played 3 innings and were scoreless. Then we had, as we said, a lightning delay for about 20 to 25 minutes. And right now we are at 3-3. West Carrollton scoring 1 in the 4th, coming back with 2 then in the 6th. Greenville with 2 in the 4th and another in the 5th. And right now we're in the bottom of the 6th is Jim Weaver, ahead in the count 1-0. Lewis fires, taking a bit inside. So the count 2-0 against Weaver. Well, Weaver at present cannot get the win unless he would come back in. He could come back in to pitch, and that is a swing and a miss, as the count now 2-1 against Weaver. But at present, he would not get the win, but he would not get the loss either. We are tied at 3. That is a swing and a miss, and count now even on Weaver at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weaver's 2-run homer in the 4th got Greenville on the board and gave them a 2-1 lead. That fouled back to the screen, so we remain 2 balls, 2 strikes. And TJ Powers had a solo shot last inning to give Greenville a brief 2-run lead at 3-1, but West Carrollton scoring twice in the 6th. Where's that? Tied it at 3. A strike on the inside corner, a pass ball. The play to first and gets by Gibson. Well, a big break. Gibson could not take the throw, get the throw, handle the throw from the catcher. And Weaver standing at second thanks to a passed ball. No one out. Weaver, the go-ahead run here in the inning. We are in the bottom of the sixth. Three. Lewis fires, ground ball up the middle. Play shortstop on to first. They get the out, but Weaver moves up to third base. So now the go-ahead run standing 90 feet away for Greenville. With only one away. Travis Blakely steps in. Blakely is, check that, we will have a substitution. Let's check and see who is going to be batting. It looks like Chad Garrison is going to make his way to the plate and will pinch hit for Blakely. Blakely is 0 for 2 tonight. Three is the score, but Greenville threatening here in the bottom of the sixth. A runner at third with one out. That is a swing and a miss, and Garrison falls behind 0-1. And we'll be back here at Sater Park Saturday, here all day for 4 ball games, and that is fouled back out of play as Garrison falls behind 0-2. We set 4 games here at Sater Park, the King of the Hill tournament. All 8 schools in Darke County participating in that. Some of the matchups, Greenville will play Versailles. It's a battle of the 2 championship teams. The 2 teams to have won the tournament, I should say. And other matchups, we'll see Franklin Monroe against Tri-Village, Arcanum against Bradford, and Ansonia will play Mississinewa Valley. Well, Garrison goes down swinging, so there's 2 outs, and Greg Hiller will step in. Hiller, the last chance to get Weaver in. 2 away here in the bottom half of the sixth. Greenville and West Carrollton tied at 3. Lewis fires. That's a swing and a miss. Hiller down 0-1. Well, we had an extra inning game the last time we were here. Greenville winning 6-5 against Butler. That taking a strike, and Hiller down 0-2 now. Two outs. Jim Weaver, the go-ahead run, standing at third base. The count is 0-2 against Hiller. Lewis steps off the mound, and Weaver retreats to third. Lewis readies from the windup, the 0-2. Taken just low. It's a ball, 2 strikes. Lewis again from the windup, the 1-2 this time, and that ball is drilled high and deep but not deep enough as the left fielder makes the catch. That ends the inning as Weaver is left stranded at third. We head to the seventh, still tied at 3.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Fellers Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, RB Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
Well, we've reached the seventh inning. It'll be Todd Morris, Phil Kelly, and Matt Hathaway for the Pirates. Tied at 3. Count is 0-1 against Morris. Bill Kaiser on for the start of his second inning. Kaiser fires, and it's a ball, 2 strikes now. Swing and a miss, and Morris is down for out number 1 on strikes. Phil Kelly will step in. Kelly, a lefty. Kaiser fires, and that is taken outside. One and 0 is the count. Three balls and a strike on Kelly. Kelly draws the 1-out walk as Matt Hathaway will stride to the plate. Tied at 3 in the top of the 7th. Well, I believe Joe McCaleb is into pinch run, and if I'm not mistaken, that will end the designated hitter. I may be incorrect about that, but I believe that is the rule, as that is taken inside, and Hathaway falls behind in the count at 0-1. 1 out, a runner on here in the top of the 7th. Throw back to first as McCaleb in safely. tied at 3. West Carrollton with a run in the first, or a run rather in the fourth, and 2 in the sixth. Greenville with 2 in the fourth and a run in the fifth. Kaiser readies the 0-1, taking a strike. Count is 0-2 on Hathaway. John Gibson awaits on deck for the Pirates. Kaiser readies the 0-2, and that's a ground ball. Back to the screen. It stays 0-2. We will be here at Sater Park all day Saturday, as we said, the King of the Hill tournament. Greenville will play Versailles in the opening game. A battle of the only two champions. Swing and a miss, the throw to second is not in time as McCaleb beats the throw. But there are 2 outs now. Kaiser ahead in the count to Gibson at 0-1. Taking a bit inside, and it's even at a ball and a strike. Mark Hill, the left fielder, awaits on deck for the Pirates as Kaiser steps off the mound. It's a 3-3 ball game here in the top of the 7th. Kaiser readies, fires, flips it back to second. And they get the out. They get McCaleb on the pickoff play. That ends the 7th for West Carrollton. We remain tied at 3. It's West Carrollton and Greenville.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Osgood State Bank with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a 3-3 ball game. Greenville hoping to put an end to it here. West Carrollton hoping to put them down 1-2-3. Lewis fires a strike, and Henderson behind in the count 0-1. It'll be Henderson, Harsh, and Singleton to start things off. But I believe it's Ryan Brandt at the plate now for Greenville, replacing Ryan Henderson. 0-2 is the count, and Brandt is caught looking, and that is out number 1. Alan Harsh ready to step in, although that is indeed who is going to be at bat for the Wave. Tied at 3 as we are in the bottom of the 7th. Harsh swings and misses and falls behind 0-1. Harsh is 0 for 2. He struck out back in the third and then flew out to center in the fifth as that's fouled back to the screen, and Harsh is down in the count 0-2. Well, Greenville, a golden opportunity last inning. They had a runner standing at third with one out, but they failed to get him across. Jim Weaver struck out but reached on a pass ball and then took second on a throwing error. Is that taken a bit low? A ball, 2 strikes on Harsh. Then on a grounder to shortstop, Weaver took third. But as we said, they failed to push him across. Swing and a miss. Harsh is out on strikes. 2 outs. We go to the top of the order. Jason Singleton will step in. Could we be facing extra innings for the second time here tonight of doing Greenville games? This is our second Greenville game, and the first one, of course, going 9. Singleton takes a strike. Down in the count 0-1. Taken a bit high and evens the count at 1-1. Bottom of the 7th, tied at 3 as Lewis readies the 1-1. Fires. Popped. Foul, or will it be? It may drop fair. It is a foul ball. Drops. And the count is now a ball, 2 strikes on Jason Singleton. One and 2, the count on Singleton. 2 outs. Lewis fires, the left-hander. To left field, and it is caught as Greenville goes out in order. 1, 2, 3 here in the 7th. We have completed regulation. After 7, it's West Carrollton 3, Greenville 3.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Fellers Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
We go to the 8th, tied at 3, West Carrollton and Greenville. We are at Sater Park. It'll be John Gibson, Mark Hill, and Bill Blakely for West Carrollton. That is fouled back, and the count is even at a ball and a strike against Gibson. Well, they've turned the lights on. They've been on here for a while. Last inning or so. Three is the score as Kaiser readies. Fires the 1-1, and that's a ground ball scooped up by the shortstop, flips it on to first, and there's one away. Or is there? The way he was headed back to first, I thought maybe I saw something different, but 1 out. Blakely scooped that up and fired it on to Jim Weaver for out number 1. Kaiser fires, and that's a rocket down the left field line, but foul. So Hill down in the count 0-1. Kaiser readies the 0-1 as Hill fouls it back to the screen, and it's 0-2. Well, as we said, Greenville missed a golden opportunity back in the 6th as Jim Weaver reached third base with only 1 out, but the Wave unable to push him across. And right now we are tied at 3 in the 8th. They push him across in the 6th. Greenville wins the game 4-3. But that not the case as Hill grounds it. Scooped up again as it's fired onto first in time. Ryan Henderson. Check that. Eric Blakely scooping it up. So there's 2 away. Hill down 6-3 if you're scoring with us. And Bill Blakely will step in. Blakely had the base hit that drove in the tying runs that enabled this game, push this game into extra innings. That has taken a strike, and Blakely down in the count 0-1. Strike again on the outside corner, and Blakely falls behind 0-2. The 0-2 on the way, and that's a ground ball, foul. It's picked up by third baseman TJ Powers, but in foul territory. So the count remains 0-2. Kaiser readies the 0-2, and that's fouled back to the screen, so it sticks at 0-2. With 2 outs. And that ends the inning as a strikeout of Blakely. Completes the 8th for West Carrollton. We go to the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 3, West Carrollton and Greenville.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent, Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us.
TJ Powers steps in for Greenville. We are tied at 3. TJ Powers could end this game right here as he hit the solo home run back in the 5th that gave Greenville a brief 3-1 lead. Taken high and away, and it's even at a ball and a strike. Lewis on for his 8th inning here tonight. Left-hander, the southpaw fires, and that's taken low. It's 2 balls and a strike now. My name is Mark Bixler. We're glad to be with you. This video being produced by Bixler Video Productions. Of course, we'll be out here again on Saturday for the King of the Hill tournament, and Powers is swinging and missing, and the count is even at 2-2. He wanted that one. Just could not find it. Lewis fires, taken outside. It's a full count. Well, you have to think that they're probably not going to give him anything good to hit right here. Try to make him fish forward on the outside corner as Lewis steps off. Now steps back on and ready to go. Lewis ready with the payoff. The full count taken, ball 4. Shortstop Eric Blakely will step in. He had a triple back in the 4th and scored on the home run by Weaver. If he'd have a triple right here, it would push across the winning run. Lewis fires, taking a strike. Blakely down in the count 0-1. As we said, Powers reaching with the leadoff walk to start things off here in the bottom of the 8th. Tied at 3. Lewis again steps off the rubber. Lewis now back on, and we're ready to go from the stretch. The 0-1. Taking a strike. And Blakely down in the count 0-2. We are tied at 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Lewis fires. Hit to center field, and that is going to be deep, and it is going to be to the fence. The throw back in, and the play is not going to get there in time as coming around to score, T.J. Powers. Give Blakely a double and an RBI. Actually, we're going to be kind and give him a triple and an RBI. And the winning run comes around to score. That is it. Greenville has defeated West Carrollton in extra innings tonight. 4-3. We'll be back to wrap things up here at Sater Park in just a moment. Well, we welcome you back here tonight. The final score, West Carrollton losing to Greenville 4-3 in the Greater Miami Valley Conference game. As we quickly recap tonight's ball game, the first 3 innings whizzed by. It just flew right by as nothing really happened, as the most really either team was able to send any to the plate was 4. But it remained scoreless through 3. Then we had a lightning delay. And that is when the run production started. We'll be back and recap the remainder of the ball game in just a moment. Well, we welcome you back here tonight as we are recapping the ball game. It's a 4-3 final score, but through 3 we were scoreless. And then in the 4th, after the lightning delay, Phil Kelly drew a walk. He later came around to score, but Jim Weaver had a lot of problems. as he issued 3 walks. And then on a sac fly by Bill Blakely, that scored Phil Kelly, giving West Carrollton a 1-0 lead. In the bottom of the 4th, the leadoff triple by Eric Blakely. He later came around to score as Jim Weaver, the next batter, belted a 2-run shot, giving Greenville a 2-1 lead. In the 5th, TJ Powers hit a solo homer, making it a 3-1 ball game. And then in the 6th, 2 runs by West Carrollton tied it at 3, and that's where we stayed until the bottom of the 8th when you just saw it. TJ Powers with the leadoff walk, and then Eric Blakely with the triple to score. TJ Powers giving Greenville a 4-3 win. Greenville advances to 11-6 overall, 6-2 in the Greater Miami Valley Conference. Again, the final score: Greenville 4, West Carrollton 3. For Videography Productions, for M. Bixler Video Productions, we're not in Alabama anymore. The final score again, 4-3, Greenville over West Carrollton. For M. Bixler Video Productions, I'm Mark Bixler saying so long, everybody.